are 10 lessons that are something that I've learned during the month of Ramadan. So, lesson 1. The need for more Muslim friends. I live in a Catholic dominant country, which means that there is more Catholic people than any other faiths, which is a threatening factor to my Islam, because you have to understand that we as humans, we want to feel like we belong in a certain group and we want to conform. So if you don't conform, if you don't act like someone else, if you don't act like the group, we feel left out. So this could actually lead to someone losing their Islam just because they hang around with the wrong people. I don't hang around with the wrong people, but this is a potential threat which keeps looming around my surroundings. This is what happens when you're in a Catholic country attending to a public school. Second lesson. Journaling more, especially during the month of Ramadan. Journaling can literally be stretched to anything. You can use it to jot down your thoughts and experiences, your emotions, which this is what I would personally use it for, because this is actually the first time I completed Ramadan 30 to 30. I mean, we haven't reached the end of Ramadan yet, but I have completed Ramadan as of now. I haven't missed any single day, which means that I should have jot down my experiences, because that never actually happened. I've never actually consistently fasted, but now I should have journaled my first month where I actually consistently journaled. There's also me being lazy, and because I haven't journaled for a slightly long time, I advocate that other people do the same, because journaling can also be used as a means to look at yourself in a more critical way and look at the weaknesses that you displayed during the month of Ramadan and see how you can improve, and the habits that you should commit to after Ramadan, so that next Ramadan you already have these habits, so it's easy for you to commit them, so there's no barrier, right? So that being said, it's when you write down your experiences, it fills you with a sense of nostalgia. It's a good feeling, because when you look at your old notebooks, which I have like one notebook. I have two notebooks actually, which is all filled out. When you read it, you feel this sense of nostalgia to look back and see everything. It's not only to keep good memories. As I said, you can use it for literally anything. Just write down. Third, mental clarity enhances during your fast, during Ramadan. I haven't felt so clear-minded during the month of Ramadan. Mental clarity translated into more work getting done. This is because you're not intaking any food for a very long period of time. I will not get into the sciences of this, because there's no point. You just have to realize that fasting really helps clear that mind out. When you have an ambitious goal up ahead, it's hard to spend your time on anything really, because you understand that goal is something that you really need to attain, and when you haven't attained it, you feel this sense of urgency that I need to get this as fast as I can. I don't believe in free time. I don't believe in burning out. There's no such thing as burning out. It's just a mental concept. It's a self-inflicted disease that people spread, and you actually believing it creates its own disease. So you not believing it means that you're actually doing yourself a favor, allowing yourself to work an extra 2-3 hours, and not saying that you burned out. It's just a loss of motivation. Unless it's an actual health issue, then you can move on. Your mind is cool, your body is cool. Please continue moving on with your work. There really is no such thing as burning out. It's literally these excuses that form in your head that sounds valid, but it's only tricking your mind into believing these excuses. So mental clarity does an extremely good job to look straight at the prize, to ignore these excuses, and it really, when there's the excuse that's popping in, it pops into your mind with pure clarity, so you do understand that this is an excuse. Move on the side, continue with your grind. This is exactly how you should do it. 4. Just because it's Ramadan doesn't mean your environment changes magically. This requires another level of introspection on my part to really get to understand this. But understanding that, again, I live in a Catholic dominated country. No Muslims, not many Muslims there. No one gets any more religious because it's Ramadan. Ramadan doesn't change the environment a single bit. It remains to be the same. It's just a normal day for people. People say it's Ramadan, but it's Ramadan. There's nothing else to it. I do think that if I was living in a Muslim country right now, we would be laughing a lot more, honestly, proud of the fact that we are proud Muslims fasting together, even if we were tired. Even if it's Ramadan, it's an ordinary day for most people in my area. 6. Push through the discomfort and go out your way to give a salam and a smile. Just like that, your courage will pay off. In the masjid, make sure you make a daily habit to just approach people and just say salam. There's nothing wrong with salam. It's not something that's socially unacceptable. Just go up to people and say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Very easy. It is a beautiful opportunity to be talking with people in the masjid because you never know who you're actually talking to. You might be talking to diamonds who know lots of stuff about Islam, so they would actually teach you and be willing to remind you of Islam and make group conversations and bring you in. Because I have there's a man by the name of Abdullah. I go to the masjid without even letting my parents know because my parents don't like this. So I don't let them know, but I'm completely safe because because carrying parents, they're beautiful, but they could come into your way which can anger you. They can be your own obstruction, even if they're trying to do something good. They're just hindering you off your path. I have this man, like I said, his name is Abdullah. He's double my age. He knows so much about the Quran and Hadith. And I talked to him. If it wasn't for that salam I gave and that handshake I gave him, the interactions that followed up through after that salam would have been non-existent. It was because of that salam I kept, talking to him. Because he came to a masjid, I came to a masjid. What's up? We can be friends now, right? So this is how it goes. So now I just bump into him. I talk to him to a group. So for example, he is talking to a group. I just bump in. I can listen to him, and we all greet one another, right? And there's a beauty of networking. For example, I'm sure that he is known by lots of people because I've seen him with variety of different people. So he's literally someone who is gold. Like, he's literally introducing me. Like, it's through him I'm getting to know other people. That's such a beautiful thing because now I'm getting to know more people in the masjid. I can learn more people and see who is most knowledgeable and learn under them. So I'm gaining something a lot more than just friends. I'm gaining knowledge as well. 7. Ramadan is basically the new year for the Muslims. What is it that people do during the Chinese New Year? Of course, excluding the Haram. They make goals. Ramadan is basically a month which changes the whole pattern of your life, especially during the time of Laylatul Qadr, aka the night of power, the night of decree. Your destiny changes during your supplication made during Laylatul Qadr. Lesson 8. Your goals shift time to time, so don't blame yourself if you're halfway through a goal and you are just leaving it aside because you don't believe that this is worth it and you want to chase something else. It's fine for you to change goals. In my life, I had a passion of writing books, but then it changed because I didn't know how to make money out of this passion. Passion is a good thing to have, but being able to use it in a way that's productive and in a way that's going to benefit you in some way. For example, if it allows you to make money, then that's good. But in that sense, I could write books, but I didn't chase that dream because, in a sense, that I had $0, so I couldn't spend a single dime in getting my book published. So that was like a no deal for me. Although, then after that, I shifted to coding. Coding was a very short-lived passion. Like, I coded because there was like an opportunity in the market to use that skill to learn it, and then to have other people request your aid, your support. So, people will come and pay a large amount of money to actually get you. But now I left that too because, not because it was difficult. It was actually, I could have, I do believe in my head that I would have still continued doing coding. I would have been a coder myself. But it was deeply unmotivating because I've been doing book writing and coding at the same time. When you do two things at the same time that are both mentally taxing, this, with the high standards that I set myself, for example, I needed to follow this strict basis where I needed to write a book. I need to have 500 words. 500 words is in length. This is 3 hours work, 500 words. The 500 words is 3 hours of work, basically. Then coding also took up most of my time. So my goal was to finish lessons in very unrealistic timing. This is what I had. I always had high expectations. I still have high expectations, but that high expectation was just high expectation of another level. Anyhow, now I went down to video editing, which is the one skill that I kept working on till this day. I still work on editing. All of this transformation occurred in the span of 1 year. And I'm here now creating YouTube videos because I actually like it, right? Because I do believe that I do have information and knowledge that I can spread. The good works that I read, I can spread it. I can spread it in a way that is simplified, very easy for you to understand, to get your heads around it, and to be your daily dose of informational content, right? To help you with your self-development journey in your search for strength, mental strength, physical strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength. Yeah. We will be talking about financial strength too, but that is only when I have attained financial strength, right? I literally have $0 in the bank, my friend. Nothing, I literally I'm broke. I live under my parents' house. So, I can only be talking about financial strength only when I am financially stable. That is when I can spread that knowledge. Or I might actually learn from people who have already reached financial status and learn from them, take the tips, use it, implement it, and then I can tell you. That being said, if you are someone who is looking for strength, who is looking for self-development, this is literally the content you need. Please don't miss this out. You're literally missing on something big. Make sure you subscribe. Help me out in getting 1,000 subscribers. I don't intend to quit because I never quit. So yeah, make sure you do subscribe. So, as I said, video editing I love doing video editing and I still do video editing. So, Ramadan also gives this effect of confusion. Just as I went through this stage of confusion for a year, during Ramadan, I haven't gone through this confusion as much, but I did have gone through this at some length. This confusion of what is your actual goal. You're questioning your goal. Even during that time, I was questioning my goal. And just as I'm questioning my goals back in that time, I'm questioning my goals again. What is your actual goal? What is it that you want to actually do? And then I realized it's striving for the sake of Allah. It's striving to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And really, you find pleasure in doing so because Allah finds pleasure in what you do. And make sure that you strive for the sake of Allah. You strive for His pleasure because you'll feel happy in that sense. You'll place barakah in whatever you do. 9. Time is scarce. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims who practice their religion, their time spending reading the Quran, reading the Quran and actually finishing it requires you to understand that time is indeed short for entertainment at all. Like, you literally, like, most people can't find time in their day because, like me, if you're reading the Quran, I don't read it in Arabic, of course. I read it in English. I still don't have enough time. I still have to learn how to read Arabic, which is part of my goals, but we're not talking about that right now. So, Ramadan, people, like, you literally, as a high schooler, many people can relate with me. If you are trying to read the Quran, there's not much time, and if you do find time, it's by you sacrificing your sleep. Myself, I haven't found enough time yet because school is consuming too much of my day, too much of my energy is spent in the wrong direction. I still hate school, always will, and I need to make sure that I step up my game real quick, right, in terms of religion. So, that being said, you have to realize that time is short. Of course, you can do whatever you want. Watch all the entertainment you want, and understand that you are losing your most valuable commodity, your most valuable asset, which is your time. Time is something people don't respect much. But when you learn to respect time, time will respect you. And you will reap the beautiful results of what you used to do with your time. For that hour of video game you spent, playing video games, or watching that boring movie, another man has worked hard for his family, is working hard, working on his relationship with Allah, seeking knowledge for spirituality, and far more. Your future self will look back at you currently and thank you and appreciate your hard efforts, your hard works. So make sure you work hard so that when your future self look back on you, she or he's like, wow, beautiful work, my friend. Continue on doing it. 10. The last lesson. Build the habits earlier on so that at the time of Ramadan, you can deliver your best performance. During Ramadan, do the habits and stick with them. As simple as that. For example, you want to read the Quran in Arabic, make it a habit to learn a little bit and spend 1 hour with the Quran. That being 1 hour with 1 hour with the Quran, having trouble with speaking. In regular months, just keep building that habit of reading the Quran. It can be one habit, and you keep doing that in the span of 3, 4, 5, 6, and it won't be that long until you get it as a habit. 2 months, perhaps 3 months, whatever it may be, just to consistently doing it, and just to keep doing it. That concludes the video of the 10 lessons I learned during Ramadan. After deep introspection of my thoughts. Hopefully you loved the video. Second video already. Feeling proud, alhamdulillah. So, do your boy a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a comment. Stay safe. Salam.